نو خود مازن و دلوان قطابین بارز امو هین جورا کدی گش نه گل بابت کنی بابت می افرو ریدینگه ما یونتو ایکی بابت ایکی to New York. Number 1. Azad Kadir is a student at American University in Suleimani. Number 2. Azad is going to New York to attend a World Youth Conference. Number 3. Ms. Riley is Azad's English teacher at American University in Suleimani. Number 4. Azad Kadir used the Skype to call Ms. Riley. Number 5. Azad is going to give his presentation on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Number 6. Stella is Dash, Ms. Riley's cousin and student in New York. Number 7. Azad was worried that Stella wouldn't have time to show him around. Number 8. Ms. Riley spoke to Stella by phone between her two conversation with Azad. Number 9. Ms. Riley asked Azad to make contact with Stella. Number 10. Azad arrived in New York on Saturday evening. Number 11. Azad visited Central Park on Sunday afternoon. Number 12. The conference was opened with a speech by the mayor of New York. Number 13. The first presentation of Azad Kadir at youth conference was برسو درس دبيتا A و B. A. Action for a better world. B. Building the new Kurdistan. Number 14. The second presentation of Azad Kadir at youth conference was برسو دبيتا A. Oil and water resources in the Middle East. Number 15. The World Youth Conference was in Manhattan. It was opened by a speech by Mayor of New York. Number 16. Azad and Stella caught the Staten Island ferry Thursday afternoon. Number 17. You have to check in your luggage and get your boarding pass. Number 18. You need to show your passport and boarding pass and go to the departure hall. Number 19. At the airport, you have to go through security to the departure lounge. Number 20. You have to fill in a landing card before your plane lands. 21. You have to show your passport and hand in the landing card at immigration office passport control. The her unit ایکه ما بابت ایکه دیه هی they wanted a better life يعني اوانا جيانكا خوش ادويا. Number 1. When we reach the East River, you can see Manhattan close up. Number 2. Dash Manhattan is the oldest and most famous spot in New York. Number 3, Manhattan is one of 5 boroughs which form a city of more than 8 millions. Number 4, the 5 boroughs of city of New York are Manhattan, Queens, Bronx, Brooklyn, and Staten Island. Number 5, more than 8 million is the population of New York. Number 6, the 5 boroughs together form a city of more than 8 million people with an enormous mixture of برسبدة بتا D يعني A و C. A human activities, C culture and traditions. Number 7, the length of the island Manhattan is 18 miles. Number 8, Manhattan, which is one of the 5 boroughs, has an island of woods. Number 9, 4 centuries ago, Manhattan was an island of woods, fields, and stream that was home to Native Americans. Number 10, before 1625, Manhattan was home to Native American. Number 11, in 1625, some Dutch people arrived and founded in New Amsterdam. Number 12, the Dutch bought Manhattan for just $500 from Native American. Number 13, the British took over the village in 1664 and renamed it New York. Number 14, by 1830, New York became main center of the trade in the USA. Number 15, in 1776, New York had become independent of British rules. Number 16, before 1800, most immigration had been from Europe, but then millions coming first across Europe and then from all over the world. Number 17, the people who immigrated to New York wanted to get a better life. Number 18, many of immigrants entered America through New York. Number 19, half of population of New York today are either both of them immigrants or children of immigrants. Number 20, New York has experienced bad times because the crime levels were extremely high. 21, in 1970, New York has experienced bad times. 22, New York has experienced bad times when the crime level was very high, but it recovered in the 1970s. 23, New York remained a great national center of banking, law, tourism, publishing, fashion, art, theater, and IT. 24, no visitor sees everything in New York, but you can see a lot from the top of Empire State Building. 25, 26, the Empire State Building became the tallest building in the world when it opened in 1931. 27, The Empire State Building was the tallest building in the world for over 40 years. 22. You can see the Empire State Building from distance 80 miles. 29. The Empire State Building was opened in 1931 and it's 102 floors. 30. The Empire State Building has a total area of approximately 2.75 million square meter. 31. Around 1,000 businesses have offices in ESB, يعني Empire State Building, and 21,000 people work daily there. Unit دويمة, listen 1 and 2, listen and read. Layla Jaff. Layla Jaff. Kibu Layla Jaff. Number 1, Layla Jaff is a grade 12 student at Dale High School. الفيراجمة رومانو ويب كرديو تشيكري. ليلى جاف قطابية القناغة دوزديل أمادايا دكتور ديلي. Number 2, Layla Jaff was going to Dale High School bus stop. Number 3, Steve Hall was a student at Dale High School and Layla's a friend and neighbor. Number 4, Steve Hall was going to the school sport field to practice football. Number 5, Steve Hall thought that Layla's bag looked heavy because she was taking all her science books. Unit 2 هر لستنو سي و چاره ما getting organization چا دخو ریک اخین یون چا دمخو ریک اخی. Number 1, Dr. Sally was an educational expert. Number 2, Dr. Sally has been talking to all of them. يعني Dr. Sally has been talking to Steve, Layla, other senior students. Number 3, Dr. Sally talked about self-organization to Steve and Layla and other senior student. Number 4, grade 12 student should get organized so they do well in their exam and plan for future. Then number 6, grade 12 student should set clear goals because if they set too many, they won't achieve any. Number 7, grade 12 student should, a grade 12 student have a wall planner to help them to write their work schedule with homework revision. Number 8, grade 12 student have to use a calendar function in their mobile to help them remember important dates. Then number 10, it is necessary to grade 12 students to set priorities so they do the most important thing first. Then number 12, revising late is wrong because there will be too much to do and you will get too tired to remember much. If you leave all your revision till the night before an exam, her persif debita too much to do, or you will get too tired to remember much. Number 13, don't just ride the bus to school. Persif debita ride and read. Number 14, to kill two birds with one stone means to achieve two aims at one time. Number 16, grade 12 student should organize their desk and clothes and won't waste time looking for a shirt to wear or a pen that works. Number 17, grade 12 student shouldn't put things off. Number 18, when you revise for an exam, try to organize complicated ideas and information clearly. Number 19, grade 12 student must have list, chart, etc. because they help them to understand complicated ideas and information clearly. 21, to self-organization means getting yourself ready to do things. Then unit to say Stonehenge, very Stonehenge. Number 1, Stonehenge is Stonehenge, an ancient stone circle and 4,500 years old. Number 2, Stonehenge stands 80 miles west of London in southern England. Number 3, Stonehenge is an ancient stone circular which has 80 miles rectangular blocks. Number 5, some of rectangular blocks were brought from many miles. Number 6, the rectangular blocks are placed in an inner group and an outer group. Then number 7, the Stonehenge is circular in shape with diameter of 30 meters. Number 8, the Stonehenge was constructed by a long forgotten people. Number 11, a great pyramid stands near Egypt's capital, Cairo. Number 13, a great pyramid was built by Khufu, who was one of the great pharaohs. The Great Pyramid stands on a square base that measures 230 by 230 meters. Number 16, the Great Pyramid contains 2.5 million stone blocks, and each stone weighs 2.5 tons. Number 18, the Great Pyramid is still known around the world as one of the 7 wonders of ancient world. دينا يونتو سي ما تارا بوباتي تارا Ann has taken her exchange student Emma Wood for a picnic in Valley. يعني ترى إما بربو سيرانة جيل كيري in Valley. Number 1, Emma is Kibu Emma. Emma is an exchange student in Kurdistan. Number 2, Tara took Emma to a quiet valley to have picnic. Number 5, Tara and Emma found the old metal box in the floor of the cave. Number 6, the merchant left his treasure in a cave because he wanted to protect it from the attack. يعني بازرگانو گنجینا خول ویره هلا چینکی آواند ویا گنجینا خو شهرشن چاوارای کری پارزن. Number 7, Emma can see a carving on the rocks. Number 10, the merchant must have buried the metal box because A U B, A, the road were dangerous, B, there could have been an attack. Then number 11, the rich merchant couldn't have lived through his treasure because he didn't come back to take it. Then unito sema erbil ancient citadel. Kalha havlere ya Kevin. Number 1, Erbil ancient citadel stands at the central of city. Number 2, the walls of the citadel ring the edge of the mount. Number 3, Erbil ancient citadel walls reach up 30 meters above the modern city below. Number 4, Erbil ancient citadel can be seen for miles because of its height. قطابين برز ام ده هول دين هندا بسيارة بوا خينين يدجي ده هين بخو خينين. Number 7, Erbil citadel was built and finished 8,000 years ago. Number 8, Erbil citadel mount has many remains because a human have lived continuously for 8,000 years. يعني كلها هفليري بوشمويت هين چونكي مروف الفيرا ينجين بوموي هشت هزار سالة. Number 9, the citadel contain approximately 500 houses and other building. Number 12, Erbil ancient citadel stands on a mound which is perfectly circular in shape. Number 13, the volume of the Erbil ancient citadel mound is roughly 3 million cubic meters. Number 15, the mound of Erbil citadel has never probably investigated by archaeologists. Number 17, archaeologists wanted to investigate the mound of Erbil's citadel because the remains of many cities lay one below another. Number 19, almost all the building in the citadel need urgent repairs. يعني زربي اوهين كلها هفليري بيد في ابني جان كرنكو لزا. Number 20, it said that archaeologists' sites below the citadel have been seriously damaged by water. يعني تيتا قوتن كو جين شنواري ينكلهو هفليري ابتمومتي هاد بونشنوف برن اش اگره اوه. نكدينا يونتو تشوري ما. Number 1, the subject that is going to be discussed in Azad Youth Conference is development on every continent and education in South America. يعني أو بوبتن الكونفرنس آزادي دي هنا دونستاندن پیش کفتن الهمی کشورا و پرورده الامریکا باشور. Number 2, the second presentation of Azad at Youth Conference was oil and water resources in the Middle East. پێشکەشکردنا ئازادی یا دوێل کۆنفرانسی دەربارەی چ بوو؟ جێدەرên ئاوێ و گازê ڕۆژهەڵاتە ناوەڕاست. یعنی ئازادی دوو کۆنفرانس پێشکەشکرد بوو یا ولی Building a New Kurdistan and Action for Better Life یا دوێ Oil and Water Resources in the Middle East. Number 4, Azad and Stella didn't visit the Statue of Liberty because there were too many tourists. Instead, they took the Staten Island ferry. Number 6, it's said that we live in a global community, and that's true here today with over 2,000 young representatives from 178 countries. أراكو كمال فيرا كي أب جملة قدبو أب جملة روزا غوميز قدبو. Decide who said this and where. يعني كيف رستا قدبو والكيريا قدبو وكانجي قدبو. Number 7, wow, look at the lights. كي قدبو ستيلايا قدبو. كانجي الكيري at the Empire State Building. Kangi on Thursday evening. I'd like to ask this roughly how big is the population? كيف جملة قدبو a member of Azad's audience. الكيري at Azad presentation. Kangi on Tuesday afternoon. Number 10, your discussion this week will help to shape the future of your world. كي قدبو بجملة the mayor of New York. ما يونتو بينجي listen 1 و 2. As the world population rises, we will soon face a food crisis. بابتي هندي جمهورا دانشتیوانا زیده بید ام دی توشی قیرانا خورنه بین. Number 1, the world will soon face a food crisis because the population rises. يعني جهان دا گرفتن آهن خورنه دی چه بن اگر چه جمهورا خلکی يعني اگر جمهورا خلکی زیده بیتن. Number 4, 30 years ago, we went down 20 meters for groundwater to irrigate the crops. Irrigate the crops. Number 7, after the water turns salty, farming will disappear. يعني بشتي of سير بيت چاندن نامینید. Number 9, Joseph's problem is that grassland becomes desert. آریشا جوزیفی چه بو؟ او بو که عرد کسکاتی یه بویا بیا بان. Number 10, the rising human population means چرا ماندتن دبی جمارا عدد دمی جمارا دانشتیوانا زیده بیتن. رمانند that too many animals دی جمارا دیانوراجی زیده بیت. ما قدام هنده بسیارا بواخینین. Number 18, dash is one basic thing that we can't live without. برسف دبیتا چه؟ دبیتا کون توف ایکشوان جدرن اوین مروف نشد بجیتن. يعني تشتكي جالكي جرينجا بو خلكي. ما يونتو بينجي listen 3 and 4. What on earth we going to do about food? Number 1, by 2050 the human population will probably increase by nearly a third. Number 2, we have only a very limited resources, land and water, to produce the food we will need. Number 5, scientists believe that يعني زانات وبوارية دابو a new farmland must be farmed carefully. Number 8, million left Oklahoma because the land became useless. B, land could grow nothing. يعني هيك بوتا أي هات برسوا درسته بي هات أو جي يا درسته خلقكي نوچا اوكلاهاما بجهلا چنكي عرده چوندن الويري نمو عرد يه بمفابو. Number 12, GM means چه رومان داد GM؟ رومانو هندد داد genetically modified. يعني برسفوه دبيتا چه دبيتا adding useful genes from one plant to another. Number 14, scientists can now add useful genes from one plant to another to create new plants. Number 16, hydroponics. Hydroponics رومانو چیه؟ Hydroponics يعني چوندنا آویه means use liquid, not soil, to provide the nutrients and oxygen that plant need. چوندنا آوی رومانو هنده داد که ام رویکا چین الناف آوی چینین شینا آخه اگر ما نیتروژین و اکسیژن بو رویکی دابین کرن. Number 19, as long as people use hydroponics in space, they would have fresh food. Number 20, with hydroponics techniques, we can now grow crops in many places without soil. يعني أمدي بكار إنانا تكنولوجي را هيدروبونيك أمدي شين رواكي الجلق جها بتشينين أو جهة بأخ. Unit 6 ما بوبت كارلا جرين and Steve Wright. Number 1, Carla Green is Kibu Carla Green, a help desk advisor who create internet sites to help sell products or services. Number 3, Carla Green's best subject is بابت Carla Green یه گرنگ اون خوشترین بابت دف Carla Green چه بو؟ Information and Communication Technology. Number 8, Steve Wright. کی بو Steve Wright؟ A website designer بو. Website designer. Number 9, Steve Wright went to university to بو چه بو Steve Wright توی کلیج زانکویه to study architecture. Number 13, Steve Wright was allowed to change courses from architecture to IT. Number 14, Steve was able to specialize in computer graphic design. يعني ستيف تايبت من بو نقشه کشانا هلکاریه دا. ما یونتو ششه ما بابتکی دیه هی نوه people join so as to chat to friends. بسیار هایی که most international phone signals were sent to شبهی via on to شبهی by satellites. يعني برانيا همين تليفونت نيب دولتي بريكو ساتلايت هاتنا هنارتن. Number 4, from the early 20th century, the thin glass fibers become important for the purpose of looking inside the human body. Number 6 fiber optic يعني رشال بینینه was allowed هاد بونا بکار اینان الچرخه بیسته بو چو بو in medicine purpose بو مرما پزشکی دا. Number 6 fiber optic became important in medicines so as to بيجي look inside a human body و أبجيو درستو بيجي investigate diseases يعني ريشالين ديتني جلك تجرينج بو تباري بزيشكي دا بو تاقي كرنا لش مروفي ودس نشان كرنا نخوشيا. With the use of fiber optic in medicine دمي ام ريشالين ديتني بكار بينين الباري بزيشكي دا doctors could look inside the human body دكتور دشين بكار إنن البوتاقي كرنا لشي بشري. Number 9 NASA used fiber optic on Apollo spacecraft that landed on the moon 1969. Number 12 the first website World Wide Web was created by Tim Berners-Lee in 1991 in order to share information with scientists. كم تورو انترنت هاد بود سكرين شلويكي تيم بيرنر-لي الصالة 1991 كي داكو شكداريو بيزانينو جل زاناين دي بكت. Number 14 Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. Alexander Graham Bell چوبو ما داهنابو تليفون سالا چنده in 1875. Number 16 Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone before the photophone. Alexander Graham Bell بوما تليفون بري فوتوفون کار اینا بو آن دا اینا بو. Number 18 the scientists developed the internet so that they could share information more easily. Number 22 people join social sites so as to chat to friends. Number 24 SchoolNet چوبو SchoolNet was developed هاد بو پیش اخستن first الكيري الكندا so as to بو چوبو to bring the outside world to school across this huge countries. Number 25 in Canada teachers had to build a system which connected schools and libraries. Unit 7 بابت working together for a better world يعني بيك ودي کار کن بوجیانکا باشتر ما درسته هین که افرسته گوتینه. Number 1 we must give every child in the world a proper education and good health care. كيف جملة good بو؟ Leon Big. Number 2 develop cures for all the remaining killer disease such as malaria. كيف good بو؟ Tessa Stone. Number 4 a human have never managed to give up their weapons before. كيف good بو؟ Alhaji Bahari. Number 6 in rich places like New York we are not used to seeing people with nothing to eat. كي good بو؟ Rosa Gomez. Chris كيبو Chris was working as a newspaper reporter. Number 5. Kriska promised to help the Kurdish people by writing about the developments in Kurdistan. Number 6. Kriska first wanted to write about rapid developments in Kurdistan. Number 7. While eating, Dr. Haval Shirzad and Kriska talked about the long history of Kurdish people. دم خورنه دکتر هوار شیرزاد و کریسکا بحث میجویا دریج یا کردا اتکر. Number 9. Dr. Haval Shirzad was, کی بود دکتر هوار شیرزاد was a museum director. Number 13. In 1987 and 1988, Saddam's used horrific chemical weapons. یعنی صدامی چک کیمیایی بکار اینا بو سال 1987 and there were many massacres in many parts of Kurdistan. Number 15. Dr. Haval showed Chris photos of Anfal. Number 17. The museum had planned to show the photos of the Anfal to its visitors. یعنی موزخانه پلان دانا بو کو وینن انفال نیشا میوانن خوب دن. خطابین بارز حتی برا ام گشت ندیماهی که بابت ریدینگه حتی ام مهم گین ایک مینن خوشی دا.